Hare Krishna, Namaste, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me here today. This is Haridam. This is a continuation of part 3 of God, Demigods and Incarnations, where His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj is giving a discussion through various perspectives and questions and answers regarding who God is in Vedic culture. So part 3 begins his description and understanding from the Vedic point of view of Lord Shiva. Is Lord Shiva God? What is his position in Vedic culture? And please comment, rate, and share. Subscribe. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
The picture that we see is the picture of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is described as in the Brahma Samhita, Shiram yata dadivikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahitata pitagasti heto yat sambhutam apitata samupaiti karyat govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. This prayer was originally recited by Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is mentioned as one of the 12 Mahajans. The Mahajans are the great authorities of each universe. And Lord Brahma is, of course, the first authority, because Tene Brahma Ridaya Adi Kavaye. Lord Brahma was instructed from within the heart all Vedic knowledge, because he is the first personality within this universe. And it is from Lord Brahma that we find Lord Shiva taking his birth. As you probably know, Lord Shiva is called Rudra. One of his names is Rudra, because being angry, from between the eyebrows of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva took his birth. So this verse from the Brahma Samhita describes that just as milk is transformed by acid into curd, in the same way, although it is transformed into curd, it is both milk, and yet it does not act like milk, because milk and dahi are two different substances. In the same way, for the purpose of destroying the universe, Lord Krishna, Govinda, transforms himself into Lord Shiva. So, from the authority of Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma gives us information that Lord Shiva is known as Gunavatar. There are 3 gunas: Tamagun, Rajagun, and Satagun. So Lord Shiva is in charge of this Tamagun, and his specific purpose is that he is responsible, among other things, for the destruction of this universe. However, we find very often, you will see, that Lord Shiva himself is chanting on Japamala. So, from this we have to understand that Lord Shiva is a devotee of someone. Otherwise, why he's chanting on Japamala? So, we'll find from Srimad Bhagavatam that Lord Shiva is actually worshipping Shankarshan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Lord Shiva actually prays, Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samacharam. He says that of all the types of worship, the worship of Vishnu is the most superior. But even better than the worship of Vishnu is the worship of those things connected with Vishnu, just like the devotee, pure devotee of Vishnu, or the Vaishnavas. So, from this description, we can understand that Lord Shiva is known as Param Vaishnava. He's the topmost worshipper, but he's never called the most worshipful. Someone has commented that they worship Lord Shiva because he is most merciful. In this regard, you must be familiar that Lord Shiva's another name is Ashutosh, because he is very easily pleased, but at the same time, he can also be very easily angered. There's one nice story which we will find, in which one big demon, who was a devotee of Lord Shiva, prayed that, my dear Lord Shiva, please grant me some boon. What is that boon? The boon is that whosever head I touch, that head shall fall off his body. So because he was a great devotee, Lord Shiva granted him this boon. And what did the demon do? The first thing he thought, let me try out this new boon that I have by touching Lord Shiva's head. So he began to chase Lord Shiva all over the universe and put him into great trouble. So finally, Lord Shiva had to seek the shelter of Krishna. And then Krishna went up and told this demon, my dear friend, don't you know that this Lord Shiva, he's always making these false promises. After all, look who he's associated with. There's no truth to this. Everybody knows that he makes so many promises, but there's no real basis to them. You go ahead and touch your own head and you'll see nothing will happen. So the foolish rascal immediately touched his head, and of course what happened? It fell off. In this way, Lord Shiva was put out of difficulty. So why I'm bringing this story up is to show you that although Lord Shiva is very easily pleased, sometimes his boons are not really beneficial for a person. You see? Because generally we find that the class of people who worship Lord Shiva worship him for some material benefits. Because he's easily pleased, they worship him for some material benefits. Just like you'll find that one of the biggest devotees of Lord Shiva in history is Ravan. Everybody knows the history of Ramayana. You'll know that Ravana is the big devotee. He's a Shiva Bhakta. But kindly note that when gradually at the end of Ramayana, when Ravana's life was put at risk by Lord Ram, could Lord Shiva save him? No. This means that when the Supreme Lord wants to kill someone, no one can save him. And when he wants to save someone, no one can kill him. This is actually the position of only God. So during this incident with Ravan, his good consort asked him, my dear Shiva, Ravana is a great devotee of yours. Why don't you protect him from Ram? And Lord Shiva's reply is, what is the use? When God wants to kill someone, not even I can protect him. Well, there are many incidences and many authoritative statements by which we have to understand that Lord Shiva's specific powers are wielded within this material creation. We do not find them existing in the spiritual realm known as Vaikuntha Loka. His potencies are exercised within this material world. He is actually in charge of the destruction of this material creation. As such, he represents a particular part of the power of God. When we analyze the actual extent of Lord Shiva's potencies, we find that he does not possess 100% of the qualities of Godhead. There are 50 qualities which all living entities possess in a minute degree as part of the qualities of God. And Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma possess 55 of these qualities. But altogether, there are 64 qualities which make up the Supreme. Therefore, from a analytical point of view, we have to say that Lord Shiva cannot be called the Supreme Bhagavan, although sometimes he is addressed as Bhagavan because he is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. just like you'll find that even Narad Muni, who is another devotee of the Lord, is sometimes addressed as Bhagavan. This is to indicate great respect shown for a pure devotee of the Lord. Next to Lord Shiva